Hi all, this is Dr. J streaming live from Long Island, New York, where the weather was cold, where the weather was snowy. But fortunately, we got only about an inch or two throughout the area. Not too bad. Manhattan got a little more than us, but maybe another inch. Not too bad. So all in all, we escaped what was supposed to be 5 to 8 inches initially, which wouldn't have been terrible, but would have been more annoying than what we got. It was, however, quite cold. I took a little walk and found it a little uncomfortable. So in any event, that was the weather report. The Dow report was more or less the way I had warned, that I thought this would be not a very bad week, but a bad week for the Dow. Probably giving back 1,000 to 1,200 points, or anywhere between 500 and 1,200 points. Today it gave back about 200. It had been down even more, about 300 at one point, over 300 points. So I hate to predict downward movements, but again, like I said on Friday and Saturday, I have to call it the way I see it, and the way I see it is sometimes blurry, but sometimes I see it right. And basically the way I saw it Friday and Saturday was just the way I saw it the previous Friday and Saturday, that Monday through Friday of the following week would be a downer, as much as 1,000 to 1,200 points. Did not materialize last week, but it looks like it's happening this week. So last week the Dow was flat, down a little bit, maybe 150 points. So far it's heading towards that 1,000 that I'm talking about. I mean, if you're down 200 points a day for 5 days, there's your 1,000 points. And I think that'll be the end of it. I see it being a very sharp, quick correction of that takes us down to about less than 25,000 on the Dow, maybe 24,800 would be a guesstimate on my part. Maybe 25 even, something along those lines. So when I did my biotech report on Sunday night, I said, these trading scenarios look good to me, provided the market doesn't do poorly. If the market does poorly, all bets are off, because that would bring down all the biotechnology stocks. And that's pretty much what happened today. There was a give back day for almost all biotech. Biotech had been hot, hot, hot. Today it was not. We're going to do a recap as opposed to a wrap. Let me explain the difference. The recap, Dr. J just talks. Dr. J can talk and talk and talk. I'll give you actual numbers of the closing prices of some stocks that interest me, as opposed to a market wrap where I have charts and discuss in greater detail each of the stocks that we're analyzing. Let me just say that of the indices today, the IBB was the greatest, hurt the greatest, down a full percent. The Dow was down, let me see exactly, I don't want to get it wrong. The Dow is down 206 points, or 0.8%. I'm looking at my other phone to get these numbers. Some of them I basically have memorized, like the SPX was down about 1/3 of 1%. The NASDAQ was flat to up very fractionally, basically flat or unchanged. And the RUT was down about 0.8%, similar to the Dow. So there we have it for the major averages. Within the NASDAQ, the NASDAQ 100 was flat, but the market leaders reemerged. Amazon.com or Amazon.com, however you want to look at it, was a big winner today, up 25 points or 1.5%. That alone buoyed the NASDAQ 100 up so that it closed flat. In fact, the Qs were up slightly as well. The only one of the ETFs that mirror the indices that had an up day, and largely due to Amazon. Apple also contributed up 0.5% or 88 cents to 175.85. So what Dr. J said about Amazon and Apple as being good to own and that they will move up but slower than the rest is not quite accurate. It looks like they're moving up faster than the rest, or bucking the negative trend, in fact. So I don't like the slant on this picture. I'm going to try to straighten it out a little bit. That's a little bit better. Of course, it's I've got one phone propped up in the kitchen against a big bowl, and that's my production capabilities. Very, very shabby production capabilities. But, you know, we'll make do. Also, I think it's getting dark and I'm losing battery. So I'm really a mess. So we're going to do this under duress, this rest of this report. Stay with me. We're going to go through the pot stocks and some of the biotech stocks that we mentioned the other day. There was no star mover among the four major pot stocks. All were down. ACB was down 12 cents, or ACB was down 12 cents or 1.6% to 722. All the others were also down. Krone was down about 1%. CGC was down less. Dr. J actually added to CGC today. I added when it was down more than it closed, below what it closed at. Big deal. It closed at 46.80, down a mere 25 cents or 0.5%. I don't remember what I bought it at, but it was lower. Kronos, of course, I mentioned was down 1% or 25 cents to 21.46. And Tilray was down likewise. Let me just get to it. Tilray was down. It's amazing how many stocks I follow. Tilray was down. Come on, Tilray. Tilray was down 2.84%, the big loser of the big four, $2.26 to 77.25. Again, I own all four. I own the least of Tilray in terms of dollars, the most of Kronos in terms of dollars, followed by CGC, then Aurora, then Tilray. Didn't make any money there today. I did add to my tandem position on a pullback, so I'm now sitting with a few more shares of tandem. I think the beast might go down a bit more. It was down 6.89%, or $4.77 to $64.47. Don't forget, this is the same stock that we were looking at and drooling at 40. This is the same stock that I finally got into a little position at 48. And I'm adding at the ridiculous height of 64. Maybe you could call that chasing, maybe not. If it goes down more, I'll probably add a little bit more. So I decided not to sell what I have, but to actually add. I think the new beast of the biotechnology group is one that I happen to own. It's called Voyager. Voyager was up today on a down day, 10.24%, or $1.69 to $18.19. This represents almost a double because I bought the stock at $9.92. So when it hits 20, somebody ring the bell or send me a comment and say, Dr. J, time to sell half of your Voyager. And I'll listen because I want to do that. It's a habit that I should get into. If I get a double, sell half. It's not a bad thing as a rule. XXII bucked the trend today, up 2 cents to just about what I sold it at, 235. I sold it at 237 or something like that just the other day. My other winner today in the biotech space was Prothena, also a Parkinson's drug in the pipeline. Prothena was, let's get that. Prothena was up 50 cents or 3.63% to 14.27. They're the ones with trials at New York Presby. And I'm pretty optimistic on Prothena in the long run. In the short run, it's done nicely as well, bouncing back from 10. I also took a position on Friday in PTN. I forgot to talk about that biotech stock over the weekend, as I forgot to talk about SESN. There's quite a few that I forgot to talk about. I'll try to talk about them more tonight if I have time to do a complete market wrap. Market wrap is when I chart the stocks. Market recap is when I just talk about them, like I'm doing now. So you'll know in the future when it says Dr. J market recap, Dr. J is just shooting his mouth off and telling you some closing numbers and a little story or two. But when I do market wrap, it's going to be a look at the charts. Qualcomm gave back a little today. We looked at Qualcomm as one of our focus stocks last Saturday. It was sitting at around just where it is now. And I remarked that I thought it would be a good buy at 53, would a sell at 60, would a take profit at 60, and a stop loss at 50. But I warned that that trade could take a long time to materialize. 1 week later, it's essentially unchanged. So yes, it's taking a long time. PTN, my trade from Friday, is up a little. I paid 99 pennies. It's $1.01, up 2 cents on the day, or 2%. I'm not looking for big things here. I'm looking for $1.09, $1.10, make 10%, and I'm out. On the other hand, I'm out of a tight stop, willing to lose 5%. I like these 2-to-1 shots. That's basically my style of swing trading. Actinium Pharmaceuticals was up 2 pennies on the day. Another one of my winners, actually a pretty good win for me, up 5% to 62 cents. What else? One of my big losers on the day was Athersys. It had been a big winner on Friday, gave a good portion of that back, down 8 cents, I believe. Let me just go back to take a peek at that. Athersys is the stem cell company with trials in Japan for ischemic stroke. ATHX is a symbol, down almost 5% or 8 pennies to $1.55. The RNAi stocks were held up rather well. ARWR 1984 down 34 pennies or 1.68%. That's not so bad. CRISPR actually tried to turned green late in the day, but it's closed slightly in the red. CRSP down 0.13% or a nickel to 39.92. These gene editing stocks are hot, hot, hot. Biotech, by the way, gave back a good chunk of its gain from Friday. Biotech had been up 200%, and it gave back 28% today, or $2.22 to $5.50. Dr. J picked up some shares a little bit higher than that, with the likelihood that I'll add some more. The FANG stocks all had strength today. Amazon was a leader, Apple was a leader, Facebook was up, Google was up. Netflix is the only FANG stock that bucked the trend. And that's one that I continually tell you that I'm not overly fond of, but it defies me and it keeps going up anyway. So it gave back today. It's finally giving in to reason. I don't particularly like Netflix. I don't like the business model. I think there's tremendous competition ahead. I think the business is very iffy. So I keep playing with my camera phone, and that's why your view is changing. I got to have a better makeshift production setup than I do now. So being that I'm doing this recap in this fashion, I think I'm going to stop right here. I think I would like to try to come back with a market wrap focusing on a half a dozen stocks. Are there any other biotechs that I wanted to mention? I said that I would chart SESN, SESN tonight. I would also chart PTN and maybe one or two others that I omitted inadvertently on Sunday night. So that's it for now. Dr. J is signing off from Long Island, New York. I want to say shalom, sayonara, au revoir, arrivederci, ciao. See you all later, hopefully. If not, see you all tomorrow. Bye.